minutes talking about the police academy, how to pass it. I made a video a couple of days ago about how to pass the physical fitness portion of a police academy, and in doing so I did forget to talk about some topics, and that's what I want to discuss also. And then I want to talk about the firearms portion as well, and just some other tips in general that will help you pass, and is this even worth it at all? So just a recap, in the last video I made, I suggested that you guys do your cardio. Get your cardio in. Practice your calisthenics, your push-ups, your sit-ups, your pull-ups, the basic level of exercises, your air squats. Do that. Stop lifting heavy. Stop lifting all these heavy weights that you keep doing. The larger guys that are muscular, that are the size of two people full of muscle, it just seems like they don't do as well as the person who just concentrate on calisthenics. Because let's face it, at the police academy, you are not most of the time tested on how much weight you can lift. It's all calisthenics, just about. If you are having problems making it over the wall, usually with females, with women, they have a very difficult time scaling that wall. Usually they can do the chain link, but the solid wall that's made out of usually wood, that's 6 foot high, maybe sometimes higher, females have a really difficult time scaling that because of the lack of upper body strength. Also, males who are, let's face it, overweight have a difficult time scaling that wall as well. Guys, my suggestion to you is get mad at the wall, get pissed off, look at it while you're running, get angry, get upset, and just go for that huge jump, that high jump, and then get one leg over. If you can get super pissed off at the wall, jump, and get your body in some type of momentum that you're starting to go over it, just put a leg over. You can get that one leg over, you're going to make it over the wall. Practice, practice, practice. Sometimes local high schools have the wall that you can climb. Sometimes fitness centers have it, but you have to practice. And you got to do it in the most expeditious way possible. That's something that I didn't mention. Also, some of you are wondering, like, what's the benefits of sponsoring yourself at the police academy in California? As long as you're going to a community college police academy, or a police academy that's located on a college campus, you are able to attend as long as you don't have a felony background. The thing about felony backgrounds is you're not able to carry or possess a firearm. I disagree with that rule, that law. As long as you have showed evidence of rehabilitation, I think that you should be able to have your right restored, but that's usually not the case. I think it's a really good way for recruiters to see that you're motivated. You're so motivated that you're putting yourself through the academy, you're making the sacrifices, and you're making it easier on the budget with a lot of these police departments. You see, to sponsor somebody to pay for a police recruit to go through the academy, you're taking up a salary of a full-time officer, just about. It costs, on average, depending on how much the salary is, I think $50,000 is not an unreasonable number. Again, $50,000 I don't think is a reasonable amount of number for a law enforcement agency to invest in their recruits. For all the time that you're spent, because when you're in the academy, you're probably getting full benefits, you're a good salary, right? And they're paying for all your equipment. I think $5,500, $6,000 is probably the average price in America to put yourself through the academy, considering that would pay for like a body armor piece, body armor, your boots, shoes, PT gear, firearm, ammunition. Usually $6,000 would be a sweet spot. Well, your department that hires you, they're going to be paying for all that. So look, it's a numbers game, right? When you have an agency that doesn't have enough money to sponsor someone in the academy, they might look towards a person who's already sponsoring themselves in the academy. and it does give you a little boost. One of the reasons why I couldn't wait, I could not wait to get into law enforcement. I've been wanting to get into it when I was like 4 or 5, when my uncle bought me a police car when I was like a toddler, and I was just so intrigued by it. So I just couldn't wait. So 20 and a half, I got into the police academy, and then by 21, I was hired. But I did it. I put myself through it because I was living at home. I didn't have a lot of expenses, and I just wanted to get the ball rolling. And it did help. I got expedited when I got hired. I mean, the first place I got offered a job, I got a conditional, was LAPD. I should have taken it, didn't take it. I got hired by another police department that I wasn't too happy with. Biggest mistake of my life, but hey, we all learn from our mistakes. And I went on to go somewhere where I'm more appreciated and where I'm able to thrive a lot more. I'm happy where I'm at. I don't disclose where I'm at because I start disclosing where I'm at. I can't say a lot of the things that I would like to say on camera. However, if you want to connect with me on LinkedIn, all my information is there. All of the courses I take in, all of my expertise is on LinkedIn. I document it very good. I've had some people in a lot of the comments call me a wannabe cop. I don't know what I'm doing. I think I know it all. I'm not even trained. I'm not gonna stand here and defend myself. Usually from people who just chime in into one video and they don't know more. But this video is not about me. It's about you. So I'll move on in a minute. Let me take a drink of my water. Okay. I showed you how to pass the PT portion, right? Run, calisthenics, run 5 miles at a steady pace. Be able to drag 165 pounds of dead weight. Most males in America, you can probably find one that weighs 165 pounds. Drag one from point A to point B. See what the yardage is. It might be 50 yards, right? Maybe 25 yards. I don't know. Might be 50 feet. Probably 50 feet. Look up your standards. Onward on shooting, okay? A lot of females have difficulty with their marksmanship and gun handling ability. Males also, but more so females. I know that because I teach at a local academy. And I do teach portions of learning domain number 35, which covers firearms and chemical agents. I am an instructor for both. With females, the issue is usually they don't have that grip strength to manipulate the firearm, to hold the gun as still as possible with minimally moving their sights. They have problems doing that. They have a lack of grip strength. There's some, like, not a machine, but a tool that you can use to regain that grip strength or get grip strength. And basically, you're doing like this. You're going like this with this instrument. I forgot what's it called. I bought one on Amazon. I think I don't know how much pounds of weight I don't know how many pounds of weight I can create this device to. I'm sorry, guys. Struggling over words because I forgot what it's called, but you're just doing this and you're just exercising your fingers, your hands, right here, this area. We call it in shooting the drumstick area, and then it helps out with your wrist. I hear a lot of firearm instructors tell their students to go practice on your own. Go practice, go train on your own. If you are screwed up with shooting, you're constantly being reminded of your lack of marksmanship abilities by the firearm instructors. Do not train on your own. They're going to keep saying, make sure you train on your own. Practice on your own, because tomorrow or next week we got a test. Don't do that. Train under an instructor or somebody that knows what they're doing. Because what you're going to end up, you're going to be repeating bad habits. That's all what you're going to be doing. Today I qualified an officer at the range, and this officer did qualify, but the shots were up and to the right. We gave this officer a red dot, and I asked, "What are you seeing?" The officer said, "It looks like the dot, I'm seeing like a line that goes up to the right a little bit, and her shots were impacting up to the right." I said, "I'm not here to train you today. Just here with this limited time we have to see whether or not you can qualify with a firearm. Throughout your time with us, you are going to learn how to become a better shooter. We will do that for you. But right now, I just need you to qualify. That's it. I'm going to train you. Just qualify." And I said this, when you go home this week for the next 1 month or 2 months, do not go to the range and practice. Avoid the range. Do not go to the range and practice, because there's no concepts that you know what to practice on. Well, first off, I did not get too much into detail on how this officer should improve, because it was just a qualification. Can you shoot or not? This person has picked up terrible habits from the police academy, like firing one shot and then putting your finger back onto the trigger guard. Firing a shot, finger back onto the trigger guard. No. I even said, let's try to avoid doing that. And this officer was able to shoot a little bit more accurately, but needs a lot more training than the police academy. That provides a lot of training. I would say maybe about 3 weeks in total, like 21 days maybe of training. I can't remember the number of hours. I think it was like 120 hours or something like that of training. It's probably more. But I did remind the student, do not train on your own. Do not practice on your own. Firearm instructors will be telling you to do this. Don't listen to them. Wait until you get some in-service training, and we will teach you to become a better shot. So that's that with firearms, guys. Make sure you go to somebody that knows what they're doing, that's trained to teach you, okay? That's actually something that you can do in the academy, because if you're learning how to shoot just in the academy, you might not be proficient enough, okay? Go to try out the NRA courses just to get your fundamentals in, but you got to pick the right instructor, and it's so hard. Just because somebody is an NRA pistol instructor, they have that certificate, they put it on the website, that does not make them a good instructor. See what the reviews are, and see what their background is, what their experience is. I mean, if they start the lecture with everything that they've done for, like, I don't know, 30 minutes, lectures all about themselves, you're probably not going to have a great instructor. Don't show me what you have done. Show me how you can help me improve. Just because somebody's a Navy SEAL, that doesn't make them a good firearm instructor. It's not about, let me see what you've done in the past. Let me see what you can do now. Let me see how you train me. The past helps, but let's not keep that the emphasis. I'm sure that there are guys in the military that trained with some individuals, and all of a sudden, like 20 years later, they have like a firearm school, and those guys that train with them are thinking like, you are a firearm instructor? Like, all of a sudden, you're good at teaching? Come on, guys. Chemical agents. Should you spray yourself to get used to it so that you'll be great in the academy? I don't think so. I am a chemical agent instructor. It sucks the first time, the second time, the third time, fourth time. There was a time where in a 4-month time span, I was gassed like 3 times. Not fun. I wasn't better the third time. didn't improve in my second run. It still sucked. Okay. Academics. In California, you are able to retrieve from open data the learning domains. And there's, I don't know. I know there's over like 38 learning domains. A learning domain is basically a module that's covered a topic. So for example, I teach learning domain number 18. Oh my goodness, I forgot. That is report writing. I've taught that for many years. That's learning domain 18. And then I've taught learning domain number 2. I think that's professionalism and ethics. You can pull up the workbooks for all of those learning domains, and you can study, because what you're tested on, there's like 100 question tests in California, and you are tested on the learning domains. Okay, so if you study the learning domains, you should be great on the test. Now, full disclosure, guys, it takes me double, sometimes triple the amount to learn something than I think probably the average American. And that's something that I struggle with over the years. You know, in class, something was taught, and it always took me like 2 or 3 times longer. I don't know if it's because I had a learning disability. I don't know. I don't know at all. In math, I mean, I failed algebra in college like five times, 6 times. I just can't click with numbers. But back in my school days, like elementary, I almost got held back because I had problems with reading comprehension. It's very difficult for me to remember what I'm reading. I have to, like a book, I have to read like 2 times. Pages, I've been known to have to read pages like 2 or 3 times all over again. It's a struggle for me. Knowing what I know now, if I were to go back in time, I would go through all the learning domains. If I have a year before I start the academy, or 6 months, I would read every single learning domain. Because what ends up happening is when an instructor starts talking about information that is pre-existing, like information that you learned before, you're able to connect new ideas, new information to what you remembered from a year ago or 6 months ago to what the instructor is talking about. Your quality of learning increases so much when a topic that you're aware of is already discussed. That's proven science. It'll make your day go a lot easier, guys. I mean, you're gonna have so much less stress. We all have like our pros and cons. Some people are terrible test takers. They're terrible at academics. There are people who are terrible at sports, like me. I'm not good at sports. I don't have the hand-eye coordination, except shooting. That's different, right? But like football, soccer, baseball, I'm the guy that nobody wanted to pick. I'm not athletic, so I make up for that by engaging in calisthenics before I start the police academy. Okay? Shooting. Okay, you might be scared of the gun, never touched one. Go to a trained professional that has a security background, helps. Law enforcement background, military background does help, depending on what they did. But see what kind of qualification, certification they have, and see what the reviews say. If you're in firearms, feel free to connect with me on the Firearms Trainer on Instagram. You can always send me direct messages if you have any questions. But that's my passion. Is I like to talk about firearms, gun stuff, and any questions you guys have. I am always willing to give you answers. That's my expertise. What else did we not cover? So we covered firearms, the wall. You guys jump the wall, jump different walls. That's going to be a challenge for many. Practice your running, everything that's on a potential PT test, and that's about it. Okay, that's all the advice I can think of right now. All right, guys, so let me go through the comments here. American Top Gunner says, what is a master class from BSIS? No idea. American. He got an email saying his $40 renewal for guard card didn't go through, and I need to register for a master class. Possible scam. Okay, see where that email came from. Is it? I click on the actual email. Is it BSIS? Like, oh man, what's their email address? It's like bsis.dca.ca.gov, something like that. Hold on, guys. I need to go through like some of these messages here because okay, Russian American Patriot says, any advice about what agency is better near Los Angeles? Like Torrance, Glendale, and all of that. Torrance was a very difficult agency to get into. They only hire the best, and I put that in quotation marks. But honestly, guys, there's just a lot of arrogance that comes out of there. On another note, I've talked to some pretty cool dudes that came out of Torrance. It's usually the guys on their SWAT team that I interact with. When I go to these trainings, I talk to them. They're cool guys, but like other courses or times I interacted with them, I just don't have the best of feelings. But again, that's just me. Glendale PD is, again, very difficult to get into, but honestly, both of those police departments are really good agencies to get into. Honestly, I kind of want to stay away from a Los Angeles agency because the district attorney for Los Angeles is not really law enforcement friendly. If you get involved in a use of force incident, he's most likely going to prosecute you, even though there's not a good likelihood that you're going to be convicted in court. That's a big no-no with district attorneys. I just would stay away from Los Angeles County, guys. Go to county where they at least understand the difficulties of law enforcement, and they're not out there hunting law enforcement, like Riverside County. Probably a better county to go to. San Bernardino County, probably a good place. Honestly, I would stick with the more conservative counties like Orange County, but there's no way. If you paid me honestly $300,000 a year to work in Los Angeles County, it'd be a no. My life and my liberty are not worth it, and I'm going to be pressed into situations where I might use my firearm. No, I don't want that glimmer of doubt with a prosecutor, a DA who's hell-bent on prosecuting law enforcement. Absolutely no. Mike is here. Mike is going to have a long day, if not already. American Top Gunner says, I'm in San Diego. I got 6,000. I don't understand why you're telling me 6,000. I'm sorry. I'm probably lost in comments. Sorry. Thank you, Ryan from the University Security and Training Solution channel for help. Ryan always helps me out with answering the questions. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel as well. Make sure you guys subscribe to the Professional Security Journals channel as well. We love to piggyback on each other's videos. Mr. Fusion says, I disagree a little bit about the being overweight part. Some of these guys are like 50 pounds overweight, have massive agility. Doesn't mean everyone like that though. No, I totally get it. No, you're right. You guys don't underestimate somebody that's overweight. They can do some amazing things. But look, Mr. Fusion, this is the issue that I have. Now, it's not just overweight. Like, I am actually overweight, but I'm not obese. Maybe 10 pounds, 15 pounds overweight. I'm active 2 times a week. I'll do my 1.5 mile run with my calisthenics. Not as active as I like to be, but I'll get there. If you're hit in the line of duty, I have to be able to drag you out to safety, to carry you to safety. In the Alert Level 1 instructor course, that was taught by Texas State University. I dragged this heavy dude full of muscle, um, 250 pounds. At the end, I go, dude, how much do you weigh? And I actually had to stop. So it was a buddy carry, and I had almost all the weight. I didn't have the foot, and I had to put him down like 3 times. I mean, enormously heavy guy, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm 250." We're, I'm not too sure the calisthenics was there, but he obviously can lift a lot of weight. Not overweight, but if you're overweight, remember, if you get injured, somebody has to be able to carry you to safety, and you might have to squeeze through windows. I used to always be the guy that's been able to squeeze through windows because I'm probably the thinnest guy in where I work at. Um, but if you're heavier, you're going to get stuck inside of a window. But no, I know what you're saying, and I agree that some do have that massive agility. Kenny Burker says of silence for the 4-year criminal justice majors who failed the background. Yeah, that's tough, man. I mean, you're going and taking. That's topic of another story. Another video is your criminal justice majors. I have a 4-year degree in criminal justice. I have a master's degree in public administration. But I got my degree once I was already in my career. I got the bachelor's, but it took me a long time because I was working full time. But it's so discouraging. Like you put all these years in, 4 years, and then you get disqualified in backgrounds. I'm telling you guys, it doesn't matter many times what your background is. Like, for example, your training, right? Your experiences. Because you have to pass a standardized background investigation. And I understand the frustrations. I think some of the requirements should be more. I think that chiefs of police and executives and law enforcement should be a lot more flexible. A lot more flexible. And the reason why they're not that flexible is because they want that perfect candidate who never got in trouble with anything. Honestly, guys, you know who I want backing me up on a call for service in law enforcement? I don't want the 4-year college graduate, not putting anybody down. I want that person who was maybe arrested tons of times as a juvenile, ran away from home, even as an adult, just struggled with life, got into some fights, learned from their mistakes, experimented with drugs, but they have lived like the good life, right? The good life, the legal life for like 5 years in a row. And they would never return to their level of experimentation. That's the ideal candidate that I would like to hire if I ever become a chief of police or a sheriff, somebody who's able to do that type of hiring. That's the person I want. The problem is when you hire somebody that has these background challenges, you could open up yourself to liability when something happens. And that's why they choose the route where I want the squeaky clean college student who maybe hasn't gotten into a fight in their life, hasn't gotten into trouble, lived in a good area, right? And that I admit that was me without the college. That's what they want. And my life experiences began once I got hired, which is not the most ideal way to go. Professional Security Journal says CJ is so worthless it's not even funny. I mean, I wouldn't call it worthless because that 4-year degree will give you an advantage when it comes to the promotional process and also pay, depending obviously where you work. Where I work at, they honor bachelor's degrees. They don't care about master's degrees. A matter of fact, somebody that's all the way up the chain of command said, yeah, Sean Sundell, he got a master's degree. Like, it's kind of like nobody told him to do it. He just got it. A little bit insulting, but I understand. We get a 10% increase. And it's basically a degree in law enforcement on the local side, maybe state side. It's kind of like a rite of passage to the promotional process. Like, you can't promote unless you have a degree. Not everywhere, but I'm just saying it does give you some leverage. So I don't think it's worthless. I think that you should take a criminal justice degree program route because it'll keep you interested. Like if you took biology for 4 years, you're going to be interested. I mean, you might, right? But for me, what interests me is criminal justice, and that's what kept me in college. It kept me consistent. Is I was studying a topic that I was passionate about, but applying that into the real world context, I think that my degree did help because I'm able to solve complex problems in a different way. It does help you with problem solving abilities. I don't think it's worthless. But I understand how some people can feel that it's worthless when they get a 4-year degree and they don't even have their criminal justice job. American Top Gunner says, I will be calling BSIS. Let us know how that goes. Good luck, because you're going to be on the phone for a long time. You might want to email them. It's a lot faster. Ryan from University Security says, academies do a personal history statement. CJ majors need to ask questions. That would vary on the academy. What they do, so what I've seen, what some academies do is when you're in the academy, they have you do the PHS statement. Just so that you can have it ready for when the recruiters come to the academy during lunchtime. But I'm sure that there are academies out there that have you fill out the PHS. And guys, I mean, some of the standards are being lowered. There is currently an illegal immigrant that got hired at San Diego PD. Actually, I can't go into discussion on that because it was a private training course. But yeah, I'm just shocked. I mean, so this officer who got hired, every day he has to check in and drop off his gun at the police station, like with the watch commander, because he can't legally possess a firearm. Yeah, that's the first illegal that San Diego hired. All right, guys. And guys, if you're illegal in this country, I don't know what to say. Like, I don't want to take a political stance. Good luck. All I can tell you is you're able to apply as a police officer now in California. So I'm not taking a political stance on this. You guys know I am conservative, right-wing, Republican. I'm not going to give any input on this because I really want those who want a career in criminal justice to be able to watch this video without feeling that the host, meaning me, is judgmental. All right. American Top Gunner says they're not even requiring a degree for the probation department in San Diego. Did not know that. Mr. Fusion says some will put you through as long as you aren't a pay up. Yeah, right. Professional Security Journal. I'll show the comment. For some reason, YouTube hit it. He said CJ is a dumb degree. You're basically paying to learn what you would learn in an academy. I disagree on that. I mean, it would depend on the academy. Because a lot of the learning domains in California, and it obviously depends on the state, they talk about like criminal procedure and department procedure and best practices on how to handle certain calls. That's the learning domains in the academy. On the criminal justice side, they don't teach you that. They just teach you like philosophies. So I do have experiences teaching. I've taught 2 years at Kaplan College, known as Brightwood College, private school. I taught the 2-year administration of justice degree program. I have my 4-year degree in criminal justice, and I currently teach at the police academy. I'm constantly going through the learning domains, and it's not the same than what you learn in criminal justice. Again, this is just my personal observations. American Top Gunner says, let's see, $6,000 in one semester at a community college is all it takes to be a cop. Man. Semester. Well, I guess, I mean, depending on where you're at. I mean, in California, the academy is like, the full-time academy is 6 months long. That's not a semester. That's probably 2 semesters. But yeah, no, it doesn't take a lot, but try to go through an academy, right? That's a difficult part. It is kind of crazy because there's a lot of decision-making authority that you have, discretionary authority, and that's all the training that you have. So are they going to require bachelor's degrees? I can't be for certain that your applicant pool is going to become a better officer because they completed a 4-year degree. I don't know. Maybe there's studies involving that, but if that's going to be the new process, there's going to be a lot of law enforcement agencies that are going to be hurting for officers. Kenny Berger says, if you don't pay to do something other people are getting paid to do. That's advice for all areas of life. If you don't have to do, don't pay. I don't know if you're referring to the police academy, but yeah, if you're able to get hired, I mean, you apply and you get hired in the academy, by all means, have the agency pay your way to the academy and become their employee. I mean, that's the route that a lot of people prefer because they can't support a family. They can't support the current way of life without work. I mean, let's face it. If you sponsor yourself in the academy, that's 6 months that you don't get a paycheck. You think you're going to work on your 1 day off or 2 days off? You can, but your academics are going to suffer. Professional Security Journal says grip trainer, I think. Strength trainer, I know what you're talking about. I forgot what it is. Mr. Fusion says, Sean, since we talk about fitness, how do you in shape after the academy with 12-hour shifts? You know what it is? I just run. I just run, and then do my push-ups, my sit-ups. Occasionally, I'll lift weights, but most of my exercising is calisthenics. But I normally don't work out after a 12-hour shift. On my days off, which is usually like 3 or 4 days off, I'll spend 2 times a week exercising. When I was preparing for SWAT school, guys, I would put on a flashlight on my baseball cap at 3:45, 4 in the morning, and I would run along the canal banks. I mean, pitch black. It was kind of scary because one time I saw a dude on a bicycle like crossing paths. Like, what the hell? 4 in the morning and you're on a bike, like deserted canal bank. So I would just listen to Metallica, and then do my 1.5 miles back and forth. I go in my backyard, start doing my push-ups, my sit-ups, and again, I didn't want to fail. I didn't want to be a liability to everybody else around me. When I entered the academy, the SWAT school, I was the second oldest person in the entire academy class. The second oldest. Entered at 42, I think, and then there was like a 50-something-year-old. Everybody was in their 20s. Mr. Fusion, okay, that's a question. Brian Saris is Israel. Long live Israel. Long live Israel. And I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for that one. Hopefully, Israel and Palestine will come to peace. I'm tired of seeing this war. I'm tired of it. Mr. Fusion says, it's probably much harder as someone gets older. Oh, yeah, everything hurts, man. I'm telling you, the shoulders, the back, upper back, lower back. It's like all these years carrying equipment just playing a heavy toll, man. And then sitting down in a car all these years, knees, yeah. Once again, but if you have more weight on yourself, your knees are gonna play a higher toll. Brian Pepper says, I want to be SWAT. Okay, no, definitely you're on the right channel. Make sure that you you obviously have to be a police officer first and work at an agency that has a SWAT team, like LAPD, large agency, preferably a full-time SWAT team. That's ideal. That my dream was to be FBI HRT, that their full-time SWAT team deploy all over the world, all over the United States. They do hostage rescues, all the fun stuff. I didn't even get close to that, but that was my dream. I even wrote it down on a piece of paper when I was a sophomore in high school, and I didn't get that far. Professional security journal says, even me, I own it. My gut is starting to hang, so I'm trying to stay on myself. You'll get there. Mr. Fusion PT's in his uniform. There you go. There you go. Go in the locker room, wherever it is, and PT. You don't want to talk about the micromanager. Hey guys, I'm going through the comments. Oh, Doug is here. And one of the subscribers says, you have ADHD. Yep, for sure. TB's here. Mr. Fusion says, Sean, for my PT test, it's 1.5 mile run is 18 minutes, but 14 minutes to graduate. I think that's very low. So I'm 43, going on 44. My time is about 18 minutes right now. In SWAT school, that was last year. My goal, 13 months or 14 months ago, my goal is to beat the 20-year-olds. So my time had to be, it was like 11.5 minutes. That, oh my goodness, man, that was nuts. But I beat 20-year-olds. It took me about 8 months, maybe 10 months, I think, to get into shape. After taking like 7 years off of just being like a slob. American Top Gunner says, are you Middle Eastern? No, I'm not. I'm half Indonesian and half Dutch. Mr. Cop says, hey man, do you think I could coach football as a position coach, be a police officer, and still go to church? Yeah, no, you can. You can. I know a police officer who was a coach, a football coach on his days off, and he coached the high school team. He didn't go to church, though. I'll tell you that for sure. You can absolutely do all. If you could do all three, I think you're gonna have a very prosperous life. Your life is gonna be so much more fulfilling. And that's what I need to go do, guys. I believe in God. I'm Christian. I just haven't been to church in like more than 10 years. Yeah. American Top Gunner says it's a holy. I'm not going to talk about that one because I'm going to get demonetized about something going on in the Middle East. All right, guys. I'm looking forward to your comments in the regular comment section box below. Let me know if you guys are interested in law enforcement. I get excited to be able to mentor people who want to be in law enforcement. Like, I get so excited. Because eventually I'm going to be that old man and I'm going to depend on you guys for providing that level of protection out there. And I just think it's the best feeling to see somebody go through challenges to become a law enforcement officer and then be successful. Now, this is a law enforcement video. I want everybody to be successful, even if you're going to start a security company. I talked to a lot of you in private security on my Instagram page, which is the Firearms Trainer. I talk to a lot, and I get excited. Like, you guys might not think that I care when you tell me that you got a higher position. Like, you may think that I just don't care, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever, like, have a nice day. But no, I really get excited when you guys are successful in anything that you do. Okay. See, I don't know who's really here for the good reasons, like watching this video, so it takes me some time. Sorry, Mike, I cannot read your comments because YouTube does not like that. Edwin says, I just got in the academy. Oh, that is awesome, man. That is so neat. That's great. Come on, Top Gunner. I'm 30s, too old for law enforcement. No, you're not too old. I think 30s is the prime age. That's the age that we want law enforcement to get into. You have tons of life experience, tons to offer. Professor Security Journal says, Sean needs to help me with my training group. Guys, I'm here for you. Look, if you're all screwed up, I'm not going to promote your channel. I'm not going to promote your training company. But if I believe that you don't oversell yourself, you don't oversell your experiences, if I feel like you are a good trainer, I'll promote you on this channel. I really will. Fuzzies says, sorry guys, I need to read the comments before I read the comments to myself before I say it out loud. Fuzzy Slipper says, I'm 31. I just read that there's no work-life balance, no good family balance, so I'm like swaying away from the idea of it. It is hard, I'm telling you. I've been happily married for 20. Oh my goodness, she's gonna kill me, man. I can't say the date because I don't want to give personal information out, but it's, oh damn, 20 years. It's 20 years. I survived being happily married for 20 years. I got a hell of a lot of kids. And it's so difficult. Like, I feel so bad missing my kids. Like soccer practices, awards that they get. Like, I'm never ever gonna remember that. Like, when they're older, they're gonna remember that I wasn't there a lot of times. And unfortunately, that's a decision that I have to live with the rest of my life. Top Gunner says, is the course at a community college different? I think it's different at community college. At, you know, like at a sheriff's department or something like that, I think they're trying to really get rid of you because they don't really care. They don't need the college money. I don't know. I gotta think about that one. All right, guys. So I'm out of here. Please drop a comment below if you have any questions. If you want me to make another video about like police work or the police academy, how to prepare for something, how to prepare for like a specific skill in the academy, please comment below and I'll do a video because I'm running out of police videos, to be honest with you. And I'm trying to avoid too many because 10% of my audience is interested in police careers or just police talk. All right, guys, take care.